welcome to Harpening. This is the second video of the cookie series and we're doing sugar cookie, which means that we're going to play with 2 fingers on each hand. So we have 4 ingredients. The cookie recipe can be found on my website harpening.com, and you can also find the sheet music of this piece there. I'll play the piece for you first so you have an idea what it sounds like. After that I'll give you the instructions so that you can see my hands and you can play along. There's a few things you might have noticed while I was playing. The first one being that all the sentences get repeated. So the first sentence starts loud, but when it repeats, I actually play it soft. The dynamics in the tune have a function. It's not only because they make the tune sound prettier, it's also so that you learn how to have more control over your sound. And from the beginning, you start actually trying to play loud and soft. It can be very frustrating in the beginning to do this because you do not have the control yet, but it will get better when you practice it. There's also 2 different motions to practice. It's going down, but after that, the same notes but up on the second sentence. This is so that you actually get to practice playing your thumb first and your second finger first. The second sentence gets repeated as well, but it has a little bit of a different ending. So the first ending is twice, and then a C chord, C, E, G. But the second time, you only play this once, and then you play the C chord fast, and then there's another ending. And I'll show you how that goes while we're practicing. Let's start baking. Before we start, first the levers. I have the E and the A levers up and the B lever down, which means that this harp is tuned with a B flat. The piece is actually in the key of F, which means that you have F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. There's 2 pieces of technique that you need to be aware of. First of all, last time we played with the second finger, but we kind of used all the fingers to go in and out just to practice this motion. This time you're going to only stick out your second finger, so your index finger, and the other fingers are going to stay here inside your hand. Don't push them inside too much. You want it to be kind of loose, but they need to stay there. So then the thumb plays along as well, and the thumb goes on the string next to it, and there is a gap. As you can see, between this index finger and the thumb, it's quite a way up. That's important because you need to play your thumb against your second finger, so it would be like this. If you've never done this before, practice this first so that you know the motion. You play it and then you put it up again. It's important to notice that I only use the thumb when I play it. So I play it down and then it goes back up and the second finger stays where it is. Because what often happens is when you play, you put it back, but you move your whole hand. And then what you lose is this nice gap that I had here. So that's a gap that I use to play my thumb and to have motion freeness for my thumb. If I were to remove that gap, so change my fingers, this is not the right way to do it. There's very little space for my thumb to play. So make sure that your hand is in this way, that you have a gap here. And there's, well, about an egg's room between your thumb and your index finger. On the first bit of the piece, you're going to play the thumb up to your index finger, so like that, and then the second finger, the index finger, into your hand. Remember, your hand is relaxed like this, so when I put them back, fingers keep relaxed, thumb plays, index finger plays, and I relax. The other thing to remember is that the way to play this piece is to always put down two fingers at the same time. So your thumb and your index finger, they go to the strings at the same time. I kind of prepare them in the air and then I put them down. So don't do it like this, putting your thumb down and then your index finger, or like this, playing your thumb and then your index finger. No, put them down first, both of them, and then play them after each other. So we're starting out with C and B flat. The left hand does the same thing, but on the A and the F. As you can see, I'm showing you here with the right hand, just to show you what I'm doing, because my left hand's going to be in front of it. You won't see what I'm doing. Now, the other thing when you're using your left hand as well is that you want to play in the middle of the strings. So I'm not doing this, my right hand higher than my left hand, no. I'm actually kind of layering them. As you can see, maybe the second finger, index finger is both at the same height, and the thumbs can also be at the same height. And then I start playing. It's C, B flat, A, F. So there's a little bit of rhythm involved. The rhythm is 1 and 2 and 3. So do it with me. We're playing it twice. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. What you can try to practice is putting your right hand back while your left hand plays. So I'm doing it like this. Right hand. And while the left hand plays, my right hand goes back. And then the same thing goes for the left hand. This is something you can practice just with these notes. You play them, your thumb plays, and then you put the right hand back when the left hand plays. So again, put the right hand back, and both fingers actually go back. The left hand goes back just before the right hand plays, or together when the right hand plays. You start, left hand plays, right hand goes back, right hand plays, left hand goes back. This is something that you need to practice. Okay. Those were the first 4 notes, and we're going to repeat them. So, down, twice, and then you get, after this, you go down to A and G, so the right hand still has no gap in between the strings. And the left hand goes to E and C, so it's A, G, E, C. A, G, E, C. Also twice. So from the beginning, we start together 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. Repeat 1 and 2 and go to A. A, G, E, C. Now we're going to go back up to the same thing you did in the beginning. C, B flat, A, F. The ending is a little bit different. The right hand still has A and G, but the left hand is going to play E with the second finger, the index finger, and F with the thumb. So now you have a different motion. You've been playing downwards the whole time. Now you're going to play down and up. Second finger first, thumb. And the rhythm is also different. This is just the ending, so you're going to play A, G, E, F. So I'm going to start from the beginning. If you want, you can play along and then you can hear how the ending goes. So C, B, A, F. Back up to C. Down to A. Now remember, slow. A, G, E, F. Now, as I said in the beginning, the first bit gets repeated, but it gets played softly. The thing to remember is when you play softly, that doesn't mean that you use your fingers differently. So I can play loudly and put my fingers inside my hand, but I can play softly and do the same thing. It's just about the strength that you're using to pluck the strings, and not about the movement that you're using. Moving the fingers is crucial for tone and relaxation and being able to play fast eventually. The strength that you use is what gives you a louder or a softer tone. So we're going to do the whole thing again, the first part, and we're going to play it softly. 1, 2, 3, and remember, close your fingers. We're going down to A. Same thing again. Back up to C. Same thing. Down to A. Slowly A. G. Second finger first. E. F. Well done, that was the first part. Now the second part uses the exact same notes as the first bar of the first part, but it gets played upwards. So the left hand starts F, A, B flat, C. The rhythm also stays the same, but the left hand now has the fast notes. So 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3. Let's do that together. 1, 2, 3, and well done. Then we're going to go with the right hand to the same notes, but the left hand goes one down to E and G. So you get E, G, B flat, C. 1, 2, E, G. Now we're going to move all the fingers down one string. So pick it up and put it down one string below. It's a good way to practice how to place the fingers at the same time. I can just remove them and keep the distance the same and put them on the next string. So we end up with D, F, A, B flat. And we play that twice as well. Let's do it from the beginning, starting on F, A, B flat, C. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Left hand goes down 1, right hand stays the same. All of it goes down one note. Now the ending. C and E with your left hand and G and C with the right hand. So C, E, G, C. Let's do that together, starting from D, F, A, B flat, going to C, E, G, C. 1, 2, 3, and. Left hand goes one down. C, E, slowly, G, C. We're going to do the whole thing from the beginning. 1 and 2 and 3 and F, A, B flat, C. Left hand goes down 1 to E, G. Right hand stays D, F, A, B flat. Left hand goes to C, E, slowly, G, C. The whole thing gets repeated, but there's a small thing at the ending, and I'm going to explain to you first how that goes. So what we're going to do is we're going to play D, F, A, B, and instead of playing it twice, we're going to play it once, and then we're going to go to the next bit, which is C, E, G, C, like the ending, but in the rhythm of the beginning. So it's going to sound like this. So D, F, A, B flat, and then C, E, G, C. I'll show you again. 2, 3. So that goes faster. So then the ending of the second part is the F and the A with the left hand. After that, we get a little bit of a tricky part because the right hand is going to play G and F, so that same string. So here you really have to place late. And what you can also do, not to touch this A string with your thumbnail, is to not come from here when you put your fingers down, but to kind of come from there. So it will look like this. You play the F, the left hand plays the A, and in the meantime, I'm putting down my fingers. I play the thumb first and then the second finger. So this is a little bit of different. Second finger first and then thumb first. Let's do that together. This last bit, F, A, G, F. 1, 2, 3. F, A, G, F, and repeat. F, A, G, F, and repeat. F, A, G, F. So now we're going to do the second sentence, but with the second ending. So twice, F, A, B flat, C. We go down with the left hand, E, G, B flat, C. Both go down once, and then you get C, E, G, C. And then comes the ending, F, A, G, F. 1, 2, 3. Left hand goes to E, G. All go down once to C, E, G, C. Left hand goes F, A, F, A, G, F. Let's do the whole B part with 2 hands and the loud and playing softly. Before we start, remember that you really close your fingers inside your hand. Your thumb goes on your second finger. 1, 2, 3. Left hand goes down 1. Both hands go down. Now C, E, slowly. C, E, G, C. Now repeat softly. But keep moving your fingers. Left hand goes down 1. Both hands go down. And immediately to C, E. Ending F, A, G, F. Then to end the piece, the first sentence gets repeated. So the A part. Right hand starts, same notes. C, B flat, A, F, but playing with your thumb first. 1, 2, 3. To the A. To the C. Ending with A, G. Slowly. A, G, E, F. Let's do this whole piece together. You can play along. 1, 2, 3. Well done, everyone. Thank you for watching and for playing along, and thank you for your nice reactions on the first cookie. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next week in a video about session playing. In the meanwhile, let me know what's happening in your life.